Hello, everybody. We're going to talk about the New York State Senate internship program that occurs in the spring semester every year. At UAlbany, we classify it as UUNI 391. So what are these internships? They are full-time positions where you receive a paid stipend of $6,600 for work that you do Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 with a New York State Senator at the New York State Capitol building. Students also receive, if selected for this internship, 15 academic credits that are graded SU. Through this, you work closely with a member of the New York State Legislature in the Senate, and we really want students to participate in these internships to gain valuable career-based experiences, no matter what your academic major is. Please note that the University of Albany, our primary focus for the students that complete these internships through the UUNI 391 program is the completion of the 15 academic credits. If you are unsuccessful in completing the academic portion of this internship, there is no guarantee that you will be given an opportunity for an incomplete to work towards successful completion, receiving a grade of an S. For the New York State internship, I'm going to highlight the application information. If you scan that QR code in the bottom left-hand corner, it'll take you to the website to begin the application process. For students interested in applying to this internship, you have to have a minimum GPA of 3.0. That is your cumulative GPA. You have to have junior or senior class standing. That is 56 completed credits by the start of the internship program in January of 2022. So if you are a student who brought in transfer credits from a prior institution, or you are a UAlbany sophomore student, we welcome you to participate in this internship and apply if you have hit that 56 credits by the end of the fall 2021 semester. You have to be a UAlbany full-time matriculated student in any major. There is no restriction on the major that you have in order to apply. You have to provide us with the contact information and names of 3 references that will write you letters in submission of support of your application. Please know that 2 of these references must be academic references, that is teaching faculty or graduate students or adjuncts at the University of Albany. If you are a new transfer student, don't worry, you can utilize academic references from a prior institution. We do strongly encourage you to use at least one UAlbany reference. Your 3rd reference can be for a supervisor, a mentor, anyone along those lines. We do have a caveat for the academic references. We encourage students to not list their academic advisor unless that academic advisor has taught a class that you have taken. You must complete 2 memoranda. We'll get to a little bit more information about those shortly. You have to read a personal statement as well as provide an academic writing sample. In the application process, we will also process your official transcript from the University of Albany and other institutions you may have received higher education college level credit. And you complete and submit a resume. One final piece is that the University of Albany does process a judicial clearance from the Dean of Students for any student who begins the process of application. This means that in the process of applying, if you have a pending or former judicial issue on your student conduct record, we will be notified of this, and it may preclude you from application and successful selection for this internship. Tips on our application process. The application is fully online. We do not accept any paper-based materials or emailed materials. Everything must be submitted through our online application. You must complete the cover sheet prior to beginning the Part 2, which is the full application materials for the New York State Senate. Students who do not complete the cover sheet will not have their applications reviewed and will not be selected for this internship. You must ask your references for their letters of recommendation in advance and notify them that they will receive an email to submit those letters. We will not accept letters from students or emailed letters from your letters of reference. For your academic writing sample, do not submit a group project. Your academic writing sample should be a piece where you are the sole author on the writing. If you're applying for the Senate and Assembly internship program, which we do encourage students to apply to both, please make sure you complete each separate cover sheet and application. Just because you apply to one does not mean we will automatically review you for the other. There is a priority deadline for students to complete all application materials as well as have their references submitted by October 1st. Our committee will begin that review process the following Monday. The final deadline is Sunday, October 10th. The application process will turn off and we will no longer accept any materials after 11:59 p.m. on October 10th. If you do not have all of your references submitted, we will not accept those references after that date and time. For your resume, we do encourage students to make sure they utilize the resources available to them at the University of Albany. Make an appointment with the Career and Professional Development team for help on your resume. We want you to include your relevant and recent experiences that will highlight your preparedness for these internships. For your personal statement, this is not a cover letter. We want to know more about you, and it will help the program directors at the New York State Senate in selecting the final intern. We encourage you to outline why you are applying for the internship. Is there a specific policy or committee you are interested in? Is there a senator that you would like to work with? We need you to include this in this one-page personal statement highlighting why you would make an exceptional intern. For your academic writing sample, this must be a polished research paper. It must include a work cited, and it should be around 8 pages, double-spaced, size 12 times New Roman font. We encourage students to utilize our university resources, including the university libraries, as well as the University of Albany Writing Center. For a memoranda, you are to pick a policy. This can be anything that is enacted or proposed or you think would be a great policy for the state of New York. Research it. Make sure you find credible sources that support or are critical of a policy on this topic. Your first memoranda is a policy proposal. This is where you describe the problems, the goals, the outcomes, and what the benefits would be to New York State. For the second memoranda, you are to refute that policy that you just wrote about in the affirmative. We would write a rebuttal of this proposed option and why it wouldn't work and what are the consequences. You must be able to highlight that you can talk and look at issues and policies from multiple facets and not just take one firm stance for or against something. If you have any questions about these internships, we strongly encourage you to make an appointment with myself, Casey Kohler. I am the campus liaison officer for the New York State Senate internship programs, or Stevie Hunter. She is the graduate assistant that oversees much of these applications. We are here to support you, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email us at ugr@albany.edu.